Hey, Dave, that was perfect first time.
My wife will correct me all day long. My pronunciation is very ordinary on a good day, but I'm working on that, especially with too much coffee in the mornings. It never helps me.
Yeah, the tongue is just running too quick for our own good. So, then we have Ollie Williams is the twin of Archie, who we just saw win the last heat. They're actually twins, so cool to see some twin bodyboarders. I know that the Silva brothers they're in the top 24, or they have been at least last year. They're twins from Chile and have even shared a few man-on-man heats together. And so it's great to see some more twins in bodyboarding.
Absolutely. Now, this is semi-final number 2 of the Cadets this morning. So we're straight into the semi-finals of the Cadets, semi-final Heat 1 and Heat 2. And straight after this one, we'll go straight into the Junior semi-finals, Heat 1 and Heat 2. After that, we'll be running the Grommet semi-final, then the Super Groms.
Super Groms is under 12, so they'll be the youngest guys, and it'll be really sick to see them and see how they're going and hopefully get a few little nice sections.
In the previous years, one of the Super Groms has been Jai Taylor's younger brother, Van Taylor. And when I talk about knee-high to a grasshopper, Van Taylor, he's tiny, but he's out there surfing with his older brothers, with Zaid and Jai, and he gives it a red-hot go. He's going to be one to watch out for. He's still really short. I reckon he's almost due for a growth spurt, but he's got, plenty of ability as a Super Grom under 12. Sorry, rider and right, up and riding. Nice roll there with Benji.
Yeah, just stalling up for that. And right behind him, we have Ollie Williams punching a roll through that first section, managing to ride out, and that wave won't offer him any more potential there.
Not a bad wave. I just caught the end of Benji's wave. Sorry, rider in red, the second wave. Was that Benji?
Ollie's in red, Benji white.
Might have been Ollie's wave, and it looked like a nice quick takeoff into a roll.
Yeah, that's it. So trying to keep busy over there, pushing a bit south today, probably more south than we saw yesterday. This is the replay here, Benji. See him just stalling there, yanking the nose up a little bit, waiting for this section, and then stomping a clean roll there and deciding to kick off.
So this was Ollie's wave in the replay here. It was quick takeoff, not a bad sized wave, straight into a roll, but unfortunately the wave didn't offer anything else on that one. But he's been awarded a 5.33 for Ollie Williams' first wave, and Benji's was a 4.17. Benji's currently in second position, still waiting for waves to drop for Nate and Cooper Bailey.
Yeah, playing the patient game there. Nate Chippendale just sitting a bit further north than everyone, perhaps looking for some of those rampy lefts that we've been seeing, but up and riding. Cooper Bailey going for his first wave. Trying to get the roll there, getting there a bit early. Ooh. Can he push through? Not able to make that one, unfortunately. Here's this replay. Run us through this one, Dave.
So this is Cooper Bailey's first wave of the day, looking under the lip and looking for a little section, just tucking around the roll, almost hanging on to it in the end. I can see a bit of activity out the back. There's a nice set coming. Might be a little bit too far south for the riders, but no. Rider in red's looking at this one. Ollie Williams. Nice little wave there. Pulling down. Is it going to barrel for him? Under the lip. Nice roll for Ollie Williams. Trying to pull back into that section, but unfortunately that lip just pushed him out the front.
Yeah, really strong paddle. You saw him just fighting to get over to it and just got under that shoulder there. And it's probably the most projected section we've seen so far. You see him just get into it and scoop around as it hits that sandbank really nicely, and then getting a nice roll out there. Man in red with the red board. Good colour combination going on there.
Absolutely. You can't miss him in the lineup, that's for sure.
Yeah, and that'll be a really healthy backup for his already decent mid-range score of that 5.33. We'll see what the judges have to say about it very shortly.
The Williams boys are just dominating, sitting out in front. There we go with a total score of 11.66. Oh, hello.
And it looks like we got Archie coming in, winner of the last heat. We'll just get sorted up here in the booth. And 6.33, that one's dropped for Ollie. You guys, is your twin, yeah? Yeah. Twins. Hang on, let me put that on your head and I'll get us unmuted. Archie, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
How was that? Really strong two-roll combinations.
Oh, yeah, going for the same technique as last time, just big open rolls.
Yeah, the arm extension really helped you. We've seen on your first one, which scored the best and got you the win.
Oh, yeah. It's like, chose a very solid wave for it because I wasn't going to waste my time with the smaller ones.
I think that's a smart move.
Yeah. So if like the small ones came through, I'd just leave them, just wait for the bigger ones. They score better anyway.
Yeah.
And how was the conditions out there this morning compared to yesterday?
Oh, it's a bit smaller, but I reckon more power though.
Yeah, right. Well, that's
Yeah.
good to know. It's still nice and glassy at the moment too, so a bit more power today, which is very promising. Here's just a replay of Benji's last wave. We'll quickly cut back to that. Nice running down the line wave. Looking for that section under the lip. Not sure if he stuck that one, but that was the replay for Benji Taviani's last wave.
I don't think he did. He got 1.27 for that. But, mate, going into the finals now, how do you feel? Any techniques, tactics, strategies you want to share with us, or you keep it hush-hush?
Or I might try and do some spins into the big rolls maybe. Just try and mix it up a bit. But,
Yep.
yeah.
Sounds like a very good tactic. You're surfing really good out there, and you obviously stood out in that heat. Those nice arm extensions on the rolls, the judges are noticing that technique and that style, so you're scooping really well into your rolls and landing cleanly in the flats. Is there any other manoeuvres that you're trying to pull out today? You're just going to keep it safe today? You're going to go for some big moves, do you think, during the day?
Well, maybe in the finals, might see some big moves.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, well, thanks so much. Any words for people back home? Foster, Pacific Palms?
Tunner's really good.
Tunners?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any shout-out for the crew down there?
Oh, shout out for Foster Bodyboarding Club and QCD Boards, DMC Fins, D5 Bodyboard Shop.
Sweet.
Here he is, Mr. Archie Williams, winner of the first heat of the day, the semi-final for the Cadets division. Congratulations, Archie, on the win, and we'll see you back in the tent, no doubt, through the day.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Ladies, bro, have a good one.
Legend.
Nice.
Thanks, mate.
Speaking of the Williams, his twin, Ollie William, currently holding down first position. So that, we'll see. There's 12 minutes to go. I don't want to sing out too early, but we could be seeing the twins in a final together at this rate.
Maybe. Both in Cadets.
And I know for sure it is not the first heat they've shared. They've been growing up through the Foster Bodyboard Club, competing. And, yeah, really strong club down there. They're a bunch of legends.
Yeah, it's a great bodyboard wave down there. There's some really good beaches and a couple of... Here we go, Ryder in yellow down the line, tucking under the lip there, just pushing through that section. Nate Chippendale, and a nice section under that lip for another roll. Unfortunately, couldn't get another one at the end. But first wave on the board for Ryder in yellow, Nate Chippendale.
Yeah, waiting 8 minutes to open up his campaign, and it was a nice little one there for him, but I'm sure he'll be wanting to get out and get a backup. You can just see him trying for this barrel, but a bit too much shampoo in the face there. Flicks the hair out and comes up nicely to this section. Who was in the tent with us yesterday. It was a cool little interview with Nate. Yeah, legend of a kid coming from Newcastle, where there is an incredibly strong bodyboarding community and some really, really cool grassroots bodyboarding action going on down there with people like Johnny Crookshank and Jimmy Lear, and yeah, they're really investing back in the future, and it's showing it nearly at all the bigger events. You've got to watch out when you've got someone from Newey in your heat, because they sure know how to compete.
Little bit of a wave come through there. A couple of riders were having a look at it, but unfortunately didn't hit that bank for them well enough.
Yeah, that's it. Ticking down to halfway through this heat, and right after this, guys, you're not going to want to go anywhere, because we're jumping back into the water with the man-on-man semis in the junior men's. But up and riding straight after his first wave, Nate Chippendale going for a forward, trying to get that forward in just before he could hit the roll, but unfortunately the wave just closing down too quickly.
Here's that replay for Nate Chippendale. As Joey was saying before, he started his campaign late in this heat, but he's got a forward spin and looking for another little section to scoop under there, but unfortunately not enough. Here we go. We've got Ryder in blue up. Cooper Bailey on a nice little right hand here, a clean one, looking for a little barrel time there, but unfortunately the wave just not staying open for him. Young man, Mr. Cooper Bailey, currently sitting in 4th position.
Yeah, his replay, you can see him just getting on that line there, kind of midway on the face, but unfortunately not able to turn that into any scoring potential. And Cooper still looking for some completed manoeuvres, sitting on 2 throwaway scores there, whereas Ollie is, sitting on some nice, powerful rolls, just managing to find those classic D-bar sections, the ones we all know and love and have studied for year after year, watching many, many videos of all the amazing riders that have come out of this small beach. And it's really cool to see that just 200-metre stretch of sand have just produced some of the best bodyboarders in history.
Absolutely. Such a great spot.
Yeah, it's so sick. So sick how these banks form. And I saw photos. There was a crazy rain event a couple months ago with a lot of flooding, unfortunately, up the north coast of New South Wales, all the way down to the mid-north coast, and a cyclone as well, I believe. Or
Yeah, it was a cyclone.
Yeah. And I remember seeing a shot of D-Bar like straight away after the cyclone, and it just looked like there wasn't even a beach. Like the entire beach was stripped away. But it's good to see that it's a beach that can rejuvenate itself pretty quickly by the looks of it and get those classic D-Bar banks back. And
the banks are definitely coming back, but yeah, for a long time there, all this sand got washed out of here. Luckily for Snapper and that, they've got the dredge, the water just pumping sand constantly over onto the super bank over there, but it does take a little bit for the banks to recover. Up here in Queensland, we do experience cyclone activity, and it's not very often that they actually come right down this far. It's, once a decade or maybe once every 5 years, we'll get a cyclone. Back in the early 90s, we had like a Category 4 come right down off Fraser Island. This one was a Category 2, and it came right down pretty much past the Gold Coast and then came back in, and it hit landfall near Moreton Island, just near Brisbane, which is about an hour and a half north of here. But by then it had diminished down into a low pressure system. But the southern end of this cyclone just generated so much wind and so much rain, and unfortunately all those treacherous conditions will affect all the sandbanks in the area. But as you can see, the banks are slowly coming back here, and it's definitely, I was here 4 weeks ago and there was still some epic ramps. It just needs a little bit more swell sometimes to hit those banks and create those nice A-frames that D-Bar is renowned for. Yeah,
crazy how the weather goes up here, and those, just tropical pressure. It's crazy. We don't get that down where I'm from.
No, you guys get the big southern lows off the Arctic, and they're great swells, big long period swells as well. And we have to rely on pretty much cyclones coming down from up in the Coral Sea to generate our massive swells. And sometimes they're a little bit close to shore, so they're not like a long period like you guys get down south. They'll be around 12 seconds or something like that. But sometimes if they'll move offshore, we'll get a good 12 to 15 second swell period, which does generate a really, really good ground swell. So yeah, that's what we have to rely on up in this end of Australia, unfortunately, which it's not a bad thing. It's all usually around summer when we get our big cyclone swells. Here's a bit of a bump coming through, and rider in yellow, Nate Chippendale's looking at this one, currently sitting in second. Under the lip, nice roll there. Is it going to give him anything else? Yes, it's reforming for him down the line and just scooping out under that one.
That was real close. Still a completed manoeuvre, and I dare say he will improve on that 2.0 that he's sitting on. So good for Nate. Ollie's still with a really commanding lead, but you can just see here, like, he is real smart, gets that first section, and you can see this bowl really standing up, and it would have been a great scoring wave if he managed to make it up to that section. Getting a 3, so smallly improving his situation. Benji Taviani only looking for a 2.34, so ticking down to the last quarter of the heat. Benji doesn't need too much. We may see another situation change before the end of this one. And
that's right. He only needs a small score to jump back into the top 2.
Cooper Bailey, third priority at the moment. He's probably not in the greatest position, but here
Benji Taviani looking at this one. Nice roll on the left. He's surfing these lefts good, looking for another section.
That'll be good for Benji. Only looking for a 2.34, and that one was a bit bigger than the wave of Nate's. So, yeah, as you can see, just pulling in as well, going for that first section, and I reckon we're going to see a situation change. So real competitive between second and third at the moment. Nate and Benji, just a bit of ping-pong, bit of back and forth, and we'll see what happens. But Cooper having a little look, not liking that one, didn't really break, and Ollie really strongly just holding that first priority. He'll be waiting for another one of those nice right-hand bowls.
Still over 5 minutes remaining in the heat, but currently in the lead is Ollie Williams with a total score of 11.66. Benji Taviani is in second position with a 7.84, and not far behind is Nate Chippendale with a 6.5, currently in third position. And in fourth position is Cooper Bailey with a total score of 2.57 with just on 5 minutes remaining.
Yeah, so thanks so much, everyone, for joining today. Keep sharing it around. Let your friends know that some live bodyboarding's on. Up and riding in white. Benji Taviani finding a really nice section and riding out cleanly. That's good for him. Not enough to probably bring him into the first position, but still probably going to better that 3.67 and make Nate Chippendale's job even harder.
Not a bad wave. Here's the replay of Benji's wave. Scooping under this one, looking for a section. Nice roll there. Timed pretty well and landed cleanly out in the flats with one manoeuvre on that wave. A nice roll from Benji Taviani, rider in white.
There we go, 4.17. So still looking for that big 7.4 if he wants to get in the first spot, but he's in a qualifying position at the moment. All elimination, guys. We're getting down to the, well, it's the final day. It's the last heats in this comp. And so, yeah, everyone will be getting eliminated. No more non-elim rounds, no more rapid charges. And yeah, coming up next, we're going to be seeing those 25-minute man-on-man heats, which we saw a lot of really smart competition surfing yesterday in those 4 man-on-man quarters and some really smart use of priority as well.
A lot more opportunity for the riders with 25 minutes and only 2 riders in the water. So it will be the juniors, the IBC Junior Rising Series coming up next. Yeah,
so you're going to want to stick around for that, and you're going to want to let your mates know to just get on the live stream and support. And yeah, let us know where you're watching from, who you're going for. And yeah, we love to see it. I'll get my YouTube up soon, and maybe we can do a little bit of interaction with you guys watching from home.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped. This is these cadets are surfing really great. There's first 2 heats in the water, and we'll have the juniors out there next. So here we go, rider in yellow, Nate Chippendale. Not a bad wave under there. Nice barrel and a roll in the pocket. I could hear a bit of commotion from the other end. Unfortunately, didn't make it. He's not very happy with himself on that one, but you could hear the commotion coming from down the other end.
Yeah, that's it. Look at this. He sees the barrel, but he's like, nope, get on that rail, and tries to roll out. Just getting, it looked like he got a bit stuck, and you saw his head pop up thinking maybe he was going to ride out of that, hitting the water in frustration at the end, which is so understandable because he was really looking for 4.95, and maybe a good projected roll out of a section like that could get him that score. Cooper Bailey looking at another smaller right here, pumping into this section, and let's see if he can get that roll around. Unfortunately, just losing it, and that's pretty frustrating for Cooper. But 2 minutes to go, I reckon he's got enough time to get back out there.
Here we go. There's a few bumps out in the water out there, a few sets coming through. Who have we got? Rider in red, Ollie Williams, current heat leader, with an ARS attempt in that one. He's managed to pull it round, but I'm not sure how the judges will score that one. He did sort of lose grip of his board on that one and get a bit hung up.
Yeah, that's it. We'll just run through this replay here. You can see him looking. He's got a good position, so he wants to risk it with a bigger move, but that's a non-completed manoeuvre, so he won't be getting scored for that.
Nice attempt for a bit more of a crucial manoeuvre, but here's a nice set coming out the back, and Nate Chippendale's having a look on the left, tucking under. Fortunately, just shutting down on that one. There was potential for a right-hander, but the riders just weren't in the right spot on that occasion. But we've got rider in white, Benji Taviani, having a look.
Bit of a set there as the boys kind of want to get better scores in this last minute, and good to see everyone fighting all the way down to the end of the heat. Nate Chippendale still looking for that 4.95 if he wants to change the situation. He does have first priority, so it's just going to come down to the ocean right now and whether it sends him a wave, whether he's in the right spot.
Just under a minute remaining. Currently, Ollie is sitting fairly strong out in the lead with 11.66 and Benji in second with an 8.44. Nate Chippendale only needs a 4.95 to jump back into the top 2, but with only 40 seconds remaining, it's just going to be up to Huey, the surf god out there, whether he provides some waves. I can see a little bit of activity out the back. Is that going to be enough in the last 30 seconds to give them something? He's currently in priority 1, Nate Chippendale. Is he going to get this wave and push him up into the top 2?
We'll see. We might be about to see back-to-back Williams wins, back-to-back twin wins. because I don't think anyone's going to be taking that win away from Ollie right now. And that's it, guys. We're going to count this one down and jump to a quick commercial and then be back with the first of the junior semi-final.